Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing Mafia 3. So, I went in and I bought the game the day it launched. I didn't pre-order or anything off of Steam, so this will be a reviewed on the PC. But I really kind of went into it not knowing much. I saw some of the trailers, some of the gameplay, but I haven't played Mafia 2, and I didn't quite know about the franchise. But I'd like to give you my first. I played it for around like 8, 9, 10 hours. I don't know exactly how much, but I want to give you my first impressions on what I think about the game and if you should pick it up. So let's dive right into it. So we're going to start off talking with gunplay. Gunplay is a big part in Mafia, and I've really been enjoying it. I feel like it has nice satisfaction when you shoot. There's a wide variety of guns you can use, from pistols to, shotguns, rifles, auto rifles, anything. And it just feels really nice. You can tell it's like polished gunplay. Some people might say differently, but in my opinion, I'm really, really enjoying this gunplay. Next, we have the story. If you're looking for a game that has a rich story, this is definitely a good game for you. The game has a phenomenal story, phenomenal characters. It just pulls it off so well. I can't speak for myself, but I've heard Mafia 2 had a phenomenal story too. But yeah, they've really done a good job. Mild spoilers here. It just kind of like tells you about the first 2 hours of the game. But pretty much you come home from Vietnam to your family, and you're working with a crime group to rob a bank, and it has a bunch of money in it, upwards of I think it was $10 million. So you rob it, but the people you robbed it with turned against you, and they killed your entire family. So it's your job to get revenge, and take down that mob. And the way it pulls it off is so well, because it does flashbacks, flash forwards. You just have to play it to understand, but it's definitely a story worth playing. A big part of the game is its stealth mechanics, and with stealth mechanics it can either go really good or really bad. The stealth mechanics in this game are nothing new. You hide behind cover, you can switch cover, but that's a good thing. That's not new, because it sticks to the formula that everybody likes. It sticks to the nice, clean formula. Nothing crazy. It's pretty simplistic. If you're looking for like a really stealthy game, this isn't really it, because you can kind of do full, go in guns blazing, or you can do it stealthy. But if you do want to take the stealthy route, it's there, and it's good. It's nothing phenomenal. It's not bad. It's good. The big part of what makes this game so great is this environment. It takes place in a fictional New Orleans, Louisiana. It's called New Bordeaux, and it takes place in 1968. And it's split up into a bunch of different areas. You have your downtown, you have the French Quarter, you have the Bayou, and it's perfectly split up. You can see the difference between racial and the buildings. You might see some poor buildings over here, but you cross a bridge and it might be for nice fancy houses. But it's not only because the people there react. Maybe you go to a rundown place in, you might be treated differently than a much richer place. And the developers weren't afraid to put the what life would be like back then if you were a colored man. And it really does a good job of showing how you were almost looked down upon in the game. It's just phenomenal. You have to play it to know how it is, and you might be called names and stuff in one parts of the area. Cops might act differently in some places, and it's just really, really well done. Now that we've touched upon a lot of the pros, let's get into some of the neutrals. The driving in this game is unique. If that's a good thing or bad thing, you can decide. But it's not really realistic, especially when you crash or whatever. It's just not realistic. But it almost has a movie vibe to it, like a 1960s action movie. It's not necessarily realistic, and it kind of feels a bit strange when you're driving. You're going to have to play it to kind of figure it out. But it's not realistic at all. I kind of like it personally. A lot of people have been not liking it. It's interesting. It's interesting. If you're really questioning the driving, I don't think it's like going to bring your idea of the game down. It's not a huge mechanic of the game. It's big, it's transport, but it's not like Grand Theft Auto where a lot of the game is based around cars. So it's good, but not phenomenal. One of the biggest things bringing this game down, in my opinion, is its graphics. I have, a decent PC, and it's running at the graphics at pretty high, and you can look at consoles too, but the graphics just look muddy, and it almost kind of looks like Fallout 4, like kind of like the muddy, unpolished graphics. Does it take away from the experience? A little bit. Does it hinder the game completely? No. There was the big problem with the 30 frames per second during launch on the PC, where that was what it was capped at. That was eventually fixed Saturday, which was October 8th. Fixed it, and it made the game run a lot smoother, but still didn't quite fix how muddy the game looked. So the verdict: should you buy this game? I would say yes. If you are thinking about it, I will buy the game. The good gun mechanics and the great story and environment really make this game a must-buy. But if you are a graphic snob, I would suggest maybe not buying this game. If you're looking for a car game, this ain't your game. The game just came out, so expect some bugs. There was a little bit of graphics bugs that I've encountered, and it has crashed for me once after an hour of playing. But I have really been enjoying my experience in the game, and I would definitely recommend this to somebody that is thinking about picking it up. So far, after 10 hours, I would give this game an 8 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and also leave a like if you enjoyed this and helped you making the purchase on Mafia 3.